Hi, I'm Charlie Albone, resident garden expert for Still Australia, and I'm here at the magnificent Royal Botanic Gardens in Cranbourne, Victoria, where the professionals are going to be taking me through their autumn reboot process. Let's check it out. So Charlie, first and foremost, fantastic name.
Oh, thank you too. Yeah, well done.
You're the head of arboriculture here at the gardens, is that right?
That's right.
In autumn, why is it a good time to really get stuck into your trees and give them a good prune?
Well, for Australian trees, it's really important to know that a lot of their active growing season is about to start taking place. Mm-hmm. So it's really an ideal time to do a lot of the pruning that you would otherwise do in spring in preparation for structural pruning or reduction of fire loads and things to that effect. So It depends on what you're doing, but it's can be an ideal time to prune unexpectedly.
Unexpectedly, yeah. What sort of prunes are you going to be doing on this?
Bit of a mixed bag. We're going to take some deadwood out of the path, don't be alarmed, and on the way up, and we're going to do a little bit of canopy separation, just for some possum activity we've got, and some reduction of some fire laddering across canopies.
Okay.
We are doing a structural prune. We want to take a bit of weight, and we want to sort of suppress that limb from getting bigger and longer, just because of the nature of the attachment, and just improve the structure of the tree and reduce the likelihood of that limb failing. Sure. So that's some of the work we'll do today. And often when we're in there, we want to do a couple of jobs because it's quite an effort getting up there, which you'll see. Yeah, it's worth make it worth the climb. Yeah.
So how do you decide what you need to do when you first look at a tree? Is it, do you spot everything from on the ground, or does it evolve as you climb?
Definitely evolves as you climb, yeah. So we start by looking on a ground level, and then our inspection level goes up as we sort of ascend, or we use different types of machinery to do other assessments depending on what we see from ground level. But by the time you get halfway up there, a lot of the things that aren't apparent from the ground become more obvious, and there's generally a lot more to do than you would anticipate.
Now each prune is of a branch of a different size. Is the pruning technique the same? Or is it slightly different?
It changes with the width of the branch, sort of just the nature of the cut we'll make and the nature of the tool. Yeah, you can get away with more with a smaller limb, and we'll use a more precise instrument if it's smaller.
Now you mentioned you were going to do some pruning for possums, and I guess that breaks the bridge of them crossing over, but it's not something I'd ever think of doing.
Yeah, not normally, not something I ever really thought of doing until working here and realised how much was involved in their management and keeping the trees alive in such a space. But yeah, they're creatures of habit, so when you change one small thing, it takes them a long time to start readjusting to the new environment or build another habit. And in that time, if the tree's healthy, you get a lot of recovery. As you can see in this one here, there's a lot of new light coloured growth coming through.
Yeah, new fresh growth, yeah.
And a lot of that will hopefully, just taking this lower one, pretty obvious when you get up there too, you see the trails of all sorts of, nasties that sort of go along or scratches, and you can tell they sort of use it as a highway. So if we remove it, a lot of the time it allows that growth to come through, which they love to chow on.
So there's obviously a huge range of tools you can use when you're doing tree work. What's your favourite?
The MSA 161T, which has sort of changed my climbing life in general, so can't really beat it. We've just moved from the 300S battery to the 200, and it sort of takes it from being a bit heavy to a really light balance saw as well, which is actually on the recommendation to use with that one, which is again just another mind-blowing sort of adjustment we made. So we use a variety of them, but that one's perfect for that. We've gone battery at the gardens for the most part, almost exclusively, until we absolutely need something bigger in cases where we're doing removals or larger work.
Okay.
But yeah, they sort of revolutionised the industry a lot because they're lighter, they're very precise, they're almost surgical, and in terms of picking a handsaw or one of those, you can get into spaces that are very tight and very there's very acute unions in this species particularly, and when you get up high, you can actually sort of make more precision style cuts and do really improved the nature of what we do.
So what tools do you use when you're working from the ground?
Most of the time we use the steel pole saws. There's a variety of them, but we're really heavily using the battery ones at the moment. They're very light and we use them for long periods of time, and they're very easy on the body. And so they're ideal for that application. We get to keep both feet firmly on the ground as well, which is a bonus.
Charlie, thank you so much for giving us all that expert advice. It's been really great, and it's been amazing to see you guys climb that tree.
Absolutely, you're up there next time.
For more professional tips from my visit to the Royal Botanic Gardens in Cranbourne, head to the Still blog.